Wrangler Star is trolling his subscription base so bad, or I wouldn't even say it's his subscription base. It's more probably just random people, because these are shorts videos that I've seen. From my experience on YouTube, when you put shorts out, a lot of those shorts videos aren't your subscribers watching it. Like, he's completely out of touch with reality. So I watched one of his shorts a little bit ago, and he said, he's talking about TRT, which is testosterone replacement therapy. To give you guys a little bit of context here, I am someone who's been on testosterone replacement therapy for the better part of the year. I used to do steroids for a long time on the street. I wouldn't take advice from somebody who doesn't know anything about it or hasn't experienced it. It's like, you know, are you going to take advice about somebody to be a millionaire from somebody who's never made $1 million? Are you going to take advice from somebody about testosterone replacement therapy from somebody who doesn't do testosterone replacement therapy or never experienced it? This is the real deal. This is a prescription. It's monitored by a doctor. It's not made in some guy's bathtub in freaking India somewhere. This is testosterone cypionate, and I am prescribed to it. I do a 5 ml shot every week, and it's not a big deal. You know, everybody's different. I think that most people, I'll be real with you guys, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not huge, you know, I don't have like massive, huge muscles. You know, I kind of like to stay on the leaner side now that I'm getting older. It's just easier to carry that weight around. When I'm much bigger, when I'm in the 175, 180 range, I tend to be more lethargic and slow and tired. So I like to be like 160, 165. Though I don't like to be much thinner than this. This is kind of like where I like to be at. I don't do tests to get big. I do it for my energy levels. So everybody is different. You know, you got to understand, Wrangler Star is a guy who's like 6'4", however much he weighs. He's built like an ox. He's been swinging axes and doing hard labor for his entire life. Not everybody's built like that. And just to show how out of touch with his subscription base that he is, it's like, dude, no one who's watching your channel is sitting behind a computer desk, not a working man, you know? So he's like telling people, he's like telling his subscribers, it seems like, well, if you want to, you know, get your test up, maybe you should walk barefoot, and, you know, maybe you should, like, you know, go and do a hobby and, you know, go lift a rock or whatever. And it's just like, nobody who's watching your videos isn't already doing that shit. So guys are trying to actually find real advice here, and they're not getting good advice. They're getting, well, just take your shoes off. First of all, walking around with no shoes is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. There's like very small scientific data that proves that occasionally, in theory, if you walk barefoot, it can actually make your muscles stronger. But we know for sure, because we aren't Neanderthals anymore, we're human beings who have been, you know, kind of formulated into this comfort. Walking around with no shoes for long periods of time can do real damage to your spine, to your legs, to your hips, to your ankles, to your knees, to the bottom of your feet. It can make ligaments more. It's not good. You walk around. You know, it's like, where have you ever seen an athlete run around with no shoes on because it makes them stronger? It is nonsense. It's ridiculous. He's walking around in his grass backyard, all right, swinging a freaking axe. Not to mention, it's just dangerous. Like, wait till he drops one of those damn axes or hammers on his foot if he hasn't done it already and he doesn't tell you. He's just trolling the shit out of you guys, man. He doesn't really know shit about testosterone. Because I don't care how much you research it, if you don't do it and actually experience it, you don't know shit about it, and it's just like how it is. So this stuff here, like I said, testosterone cypionate, it's 250 milligrams, and I do a 5 ml shot every week. I'm gonna bump that up in the winter here because I tend to drop my levels. I get tested every 3 months. There's a lot of things you got to be careful when you do it, and I get tested for cancer in my colon cancer. You got to get tested for that because any kind of glands you have, it'll rapidly increase that. So you got to be really careful. That's why it's important to not just go and start doing steroids. This is steroids. Make no mistake about what this is, guys. Testosterone replacement therapy is steroids. So If anybody ever had the questions, does Will do steroids? Yes, I do freaking steroids. Is it a crazy huge amount where I'm mixing Sustanon with, testosterone, Cypionate, and I know a lot about steroids. I've done it basically my entire life, okay? It is what it is. That's what I grew up around, and I've done it for a long time. So the other part about that is some guys are wanting to know about it because there's a lot about it right now that is beneficial for you as you get older. As far as my energy levels are, I do feel a little bit different. I feel a little bit more energetic. I'm having a bit of a problem right now, going into 40 with my energy levels, and I think it's a lot to do with the heat here in Austin. It's just a climate change thing for me, and I'm just trying to get used to it still. It's just really hard to work in 105 degree weather, So, Gigafactory, it's a lot. It's not like I'm a guy who sits behind a desk and doesn't do anything. I work my ass off, and still, I see the benefits to us. Now, you have to understand, his advice is really bad because what happens here is everybody is different. Not everybody is living in the Pacific Northwest with huge grass backyard that they can swing an axe all day. There's very few men that are like that, you know what I mean? And just because you don't do that doesn't make you not a man or any less of a man. And that's kind of like the kind of perception that he's given off. And I think that's why a lot of people are mad. And like the Rolling Stone article and like that article is garbage. And I actually had to delete the comment section off of that video because I stuck my neck out for him in that video, and was like, just sue him because it's defamation of character, which it is. Whether he's gonna do that or not, I don't really care. He sent me some janky email or said it was one of his team. Wrangler Star team is obviously Miss W. So I don't have no problem with these people, but like I want you guys to understand why people are so pissed off at him, because I don't have the energy to be mad at people, especially on the internet that I don't even know. But I want you guys to understand, I am physically someone who's actually donated money to him and his family and his channel numerous times, not hundreds of dollars, but I have donated money. And I was basically cut dry because of probably something I said in a video about one of his videos or something that, like crybaby bullshit that he, got all upset at me because I made fun of his video or something. Who cares? Like, I'm just joking anyway most of the time, but like, he took it serious and now it's like, whatever. So, but I just want you guys to understand, if you're looking for real, this is where you're going to find real at Hard City. I don't sugarcoat shit. I don't see any reason why you shouldn't walk barefoot sometimes. But to do it all the time is nonsense. You're going to get yourself hurt. Don't do that. There's no data that proves that it's, going to make you stronger. If you want to do testosterone replacement therapy, go to a doctor and get tested for your levels. Don't just go by Wrangler Star and what he's saying or what I'm saying. Go and get your levels tested. If your levels are low and you feel like you don't have, and you get your blood tested as well to see if there's any cancerous cells, you want to make sure any of that is good, because if you start doing this stuff and you have cancer, it's going to make that cancer cell grow very fast, and you don't want that, obviously. So make sure you're going to get the blood work done, get tested, see what your levels are, and what is your lifestyle? Like what are you doing? Are you someone who is always at work like I am, and you're doing hard labor, and you're just finding trouble gaining weight? Eating healthy is a big thing. It's the only thing I'll agree with him in that short where he did say, stop eating processed food. You should not eat processed foods. Here I am with my woke ass Starbucks cup. Yeah, but like, I like Starbucks. I like what I like. I don't really give a shit. Your life is your life. Just because a YouTuber is doing something, or your favorite YouTuber says this is how it's done, doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Works for him is working for him under very specific conditions, because Wrangler Star is built like an ox. Like I said, he's a 6'5" or 6'6" huge man who, has been swinging axes and doing hard labor for his whole life. And so now he's out there in the grass walking around barefoot and now telling everybody that he has no back pain and all this and the other thing, which may be true, but the longer he does that, the worse off he's going to be. Trust me. You know, walking, there's a reason why they make shoes that, you know, flex and form to the arch of your foot. You know, it's just a silly thing. But hey, don't take my word for it. Go do your own research. What's your lifestyle like? I know for me, it's just not feasible to walk around with no shoes on out here in Texas. That first of all, the concrete's like 130 degrees. You would literally burn the bottom of your foot. I can't even walk the dog half the time because her paws get burned. I have to put little footies on her feet. The dog. I mean, that's how hot the ground is. So I would recommend for you guys, do all the research and get yourself a journal. This is a really cool little journal thing that I have, and I keep track of like everything that I do in this little book here. This is a traveler's notebook. It's my favorite thing. I have lots of journals, but what's cool about this thing is like I put all of my eating regimens and my diets and just different scheduling, and when you start keeping track of your life and your lifestyle, then you can kind of put together and formulate a plan on how you want to go forward and improve your life. You know, as we get into the future and other medicines and other things become available to us, our lives as human beings will be longer. You know, I don't think it would be out of the realm of possibility for me to live till I'm 150 years old. Or longer. You know, there may be a chance where we just don't die because we have AI, we have, you know, all these other things that are popping up we're not going to talk about in this video. Probably in a members only live stream we'll get into that. But, you know, guys, just be careful what you're watching on YouTube. You know, I don't have a problem with him personally. Like I said, I've always been a big fan of him, but when guys are starting to put like really bad advice out there like that, I start to worry about what their intentions are. And I know that most of the people that watch his shorts probably aren't subscribers. But if he is trying to get subscribers, that's not the way to do it. And, you know, to give some advice to my subscription base of younger men who are in their 25s to like 30-ish, I don't feel like you really start to develop until you're like in 32, at least for me personally. Some guys get there, you know, develop a little earlier, but you know, if you guys are looking for, I don't think that you need to do testosterone replacement therapy until you're in your, 35, 36, 37, maybe is when you want to start thinking about it. If you're losing energy levels and you're like having issues, you know, if you're a younger kid and you're doing steroids and you're 19 and you're getting this stuff off the kid in the locker room and you're shooting this stuff up, you're really doing yourself a disservice. You don't want to go about it that way for sure. That's my advice for you because, you know, you don't know what you're putting in your body. What's good about something like this is, and you're not going to probably get this when being younger anyway, going to a doctor, because they're going to test your levels at 20 years old and you're going to have the high levels. It's just the way a man's body produces testosterone naturally. There are ways to produce testosterone naturally by lifting weights and doing things, which is only going to help it somewhat. It's not going to, you know, your levels should be something like 1200 or something. When they're in like the 300 range is where you start to have issues. So, you know, and by issues, I mean, you're just going to feel tired. You're not going to really have energy. You're weak. You don't want to lift anything. You don't want to do anything. And that could be depression, too. It doesn't have to be. And depression can lead into testosterone issues. It can all kind of have, like, this ladder effect on each other. So you just got to be careful, man. Just write down your lifestyle habits. Write down your goals. What do you want to do? You know, like, and for you younger guys, man, if you're questioning, like, oh, man, maybe I should do steroids. And I think it would be for a younger gentleman to do testosterone, being somebody who's like 25 or something, is really skinny kids who are having trouble gaining weight, you know, but just understand that when you start doing testosterone at a young age like that, take from my experience, when you start doing it from that young age, what happens is your body doesn't produce it naturally anymore. And it has actually a reverse effect. So essentially, you're going to be on this stuff the rest of your life. So there is a pellet you can do now. It's a little more expensive, and you just put the pellet in. You don't have to worry about it for 6 months. So there's a lot of technology. Just be careful, guys. Do your own research. Don't listen to me or Wrangler Star or anyone. Do your own research for your own lifestyle. You know, if you want to walk around barefoot, and then whatever, I think that's completely ridiculous. You know, I don't know anybody, and I know a lot of athletes, I know a lot of bodybuilders, I know a lot of hardworking men, and I've never seen anyone be like, yeah, I wear no shoes, and it's like, now I'm like, you know, super strong, you know, and whatever. Look at the strongest man in the world isn't not wearing shoes. You know, they're special deadlift shoes that they wear when they do squats and deadlifts and stuff. You know, you go to the gym and you see people doing deadlifts and squats, and they'll be wearing no shoes. You don't want to wear a cushion type shoe when you're doing any kind of deadlift, obviously. But, you know, I don't know. I just think it's bad advice. And for me personally, if you are a younger gentleman, and you're thinking about it, I think the only real acceptable reasoning to do testosterone is like an injury. You know, some kind of injury that will, you know, is preventing you from maybe healing faster, or, you know, whatever. So maybe you can't get that scholarship to get into school. Whatever gives you an edge to be better, honestly, if you think that's going to give you the edge. And, you know, you consult a doctor and you're doing it the right way, I think that's fine. Getting it on the streets, big no-no, especially nowadays. It's really dangerous to do that, so just be aware. And so that's what I got for you guys, man. I just, you know, I see these videos from him lately, and they're a little strange. I'm not going to lie. They are strange. Some people, you know, but the guy isn't out there making bombs and threats and stuff like Rolling Stone said. He's not out there like, you know, making some kind of cult or something. At least I don't know. Maybe he is. Who knows? Honestly, you know, I'm like really about this close to unsubscribing. Not that he cares anyway. He wrote me some janky email talking about he's busy, he can't talk, and it's like, I'm a guy who donated your family money. You can't give me an answer back after I made a video sticking my neck out for you on my channel. You know, so yeah, it's just the type of person you're dealing with, and I hope that as big as this channel ever gets, as big as I ever get on YouTube, guys, don't ever let me turn into that monster. Don't ever let me turn into that type of person. You know, and so yeah. Anyway, guys, membership is down below. Thank you again to our members, Sam P. Shadow and Anthony Barina, man. You guys, again, are kicking this thing off. We need more members to start getting the members-only live stream going. But the live stream, we're going to start kicking off soon again. I've been sick. Yeah, sick. I've been sick. And I actually took off work today, too. Had off today, paid time off. But anyway, yeah, I've been sick over Labor Day weekend, which is terrible. I had a bad cold, and so yeah, I just figured I would actually give you guys some real advice and my real experience. You know, I have gotten questions quite often about if I have done steroids, because you guys have seen me be pretty big before, and yeah, I've done steroids, and that's the truth of it. You know, I've done steroids. I mean, so, and I still do them now. And and I can say that now and not, aren't you worried about to get arrested? Well, it's a prescription, so no, it's perfectly fine. And so that's the way I go about it. And if people don't like that, I don't really care. That's just, you know, the life I decided to live. It's the way I decided that would be more beneficial for me going forward. When I stopped being able to get the test that I was getting when I lived back home in Philly on the street, you know, you can't get this stuff mailed back and forth. You know, I wasn't living at home anymore. I don't have connections. And I just didn't feel real good about getting this stuff made from somebody. I didn't know what it was. I'm injecting this stuff into my body for years. I have no idea what it is, right? So, yeah, it's real dangerous. You don't have to tell me in the comment. I know about the dangers. I know all about it. And so just giving you guys my experience of it, as real as I can be with you guys. And, you know, it's dangerous. Don't do that. You don't want to go down that road that I did. And so, but if you are going to do it and you want to do it, go ahead and do it the right way. Go to a doctor, get tested. And just so you guys do know, I have been tested for all types of, you know, different diseases and cancer and anything else that's in my body before I continued with getting it done the right way by my doctor here. And I'm all good. I've been very lucky, actually. I've been really healthy. And so, you know, thanks to the Lord our Savior for that. But, you know, I just think that there is a way to do it right. And I get a lot of questions from guys all the time about it. And I think, you know, if you're in the upper ages, 40s, 50s, you know, if it meets your lifestyle and you feel like you need to do it and you do the right thing, I don't see an issue with it. But just know that you are still going to have to work. You can't just stick yourself with a needle, which, by the way, I do myself every week. I've been doing it for the better part of like 15 years. So it's one of those things, you know, you know, it's you just got to be careful. I don't know how real else I could say it and to be real with you guys. But anyways, that's what I got for you. I'll see you in the next one. Like, share, subscribe. If you want to be a member, just go ahead and join below. Hit my channel icon and join. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Peace.